Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Athea Plays. Today I'm going to be giving you a quick introduction, hopefully quick, of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition playthrough that will be starting on May 14th, 2021. Very excited for it. This video is going to kind of go over more of my personal history with Mass Effect, why I'm doing this playthrough, what you can expect from this playthrough, a little bit of introduction to some of the gaming systems for those of you that have never played Mass Effect. If you're very familiar with Mass Effect, like I am, you're probably not going to get too much from this video, but you're more than welcome to watch. Please don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and let's dive right in. So first off, many of you who may know me or may not, may be wondering, why am I doing this? Why am I doing a Mass Effect Legendary Edition playthrough when I have never done any sort of game streaming before? I've never done any YouTube reaction videos before. I did once, a long time ago, try to do a YouTube channel cooking videos. I didn't get very far on that. So here we are. Why are we here? Well, the short answer is just that I love Mass Effect. I really do. It's my favorite game. The original trilogy, not Mass Effect Andromeda. We're not going to talk about that. Not today. Maybe later. We pretend that one doesn't exist. Mass Effect trilogy. Great, great game. Best game series I've ever played. And it hits all my favorites. It's an RPG. Love RPGs. It's a futuristic sci-fi environment, theme to the game. Love it. Fantastic story. Fantastic. Great characters who develop and change throughout the series, who have defined personalities and interesting backstories. Mass Effect Andromeda, you were missing that. And here we are. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Original trilogy. The only other type of game that I'd probably like on the same level would be similar style RPG, but in more of a fantasy setting. So Dragon Age, which also comes from BioWare. Fantastic game, love that too. Still haven't quite finished Dragon Age Inquisition. We'll get to that before Dragon Age 4 comes out. So as we get into Mass Effect, for those of you that have played, you already know about the morality system. For those of you that don't, there are some choices that will matter as we play the game. Now, we can get into debates about how much they matter. Some fans like to argue about that. But in the end, we can still say that they do matter. Whether they matter a lot or they matter a little, they do still matter. So your choices do affect things in the game. One of the most basic things is that you have to choose sort of the personality of your main character, Commander Shepard. And either you're going to play him or her as a good character, or you're going to play them as a bad character. And in Mass Effect, they call that Paragon versus Renegade. Now, you can play both of those strict paths. Strictly Paragon, you choose all the Paragon options in the game. Strictly Renegade, you choose all the Renegade options in the game. I'm going to tell you, and every Mass Effect player or loyal player will tell you, you do that and that actually doesn't change the game too much. Doing a strict Paragon, doing a strict Renegade, your end results are pretty much exactly the same. It's just when you're a renegade, you're kind of more of an asshole when you do it, and people treat you a little bit differently, but you still accomplish the same things. It's not too different if that's all you're doing, just picking either the good choice or the bad choice. Now, there is gray area, though. You can mix and match. So I personally really like a Commander Shepard who's about 90% Paragon, but every once in a while likes to do a renegade action, like kick somebody out a window when they're pissing them off. But you can mix and match a little more, and you can even play Renegade in particular in a specific way that lets you play what fans have deemed the evil Shepard path, which leads to a lot of people dying, which does not necessarily have to happen even in a Renegade playthrough. So be aware of that. Paragon versus Renegade. I'm going to tell you, I have pre-selected a bunch of the major decisions myself, and we will be doing a Renegade / Evil Shepherd playthrough. I am doing this because I need to see if I can get through it. I have played Mass Effect 10 times, the entire trilogy. At least 10. 10 is what I say. I lost count. And if we're going with 10, I would say that 8 out of those times I played either strict Paragon or my 90% Paragon, kicking people out a window every once in a while. Blowing up gas tanks, things like that. The other 2 times I played Renegade. And this apparently lines up with what BioWare has said from the people who played Mass Effect, that like 90% of players played Paragon pathways and the rest played Renegade. That's not the right number, don't quote me on that, but it was something really high like that. It was very disproportionate. So of those 2 Renegade playthroughs I did, one of them was just like the strict Renegade that I was talking about, where you just picked the Renegade choices. And doing that, as I said, didn't change the game too much. How people react to you is different. Maybe a couple of people die, but it's actually not that drastic of a change. The last time I played it, or tried to play a Renegade path, I tried to play an evil Renegade path, which leads to people dying. And more particularly, leads to people that, if you've played a Paragon pathway, you care very much about. And then not only do they die, but some of them are killed by you. And if you ask my husband, when I played that playthrough, I did get to the 3rd game. And then I stopped about halfway through because I killed somebody and I couldn't get over it. It was devastating. I turned that game off. I never turned it back on. So, we are going to be doing an Evil Renegade playthrough. We're going to see if I can get through it this time. So I am warning you ahead of time, don't get too attached to the characters. Some of them are going to die. I am not going to play a purely evil playthrough. We are not going to kill everybody. We are not going to destroy the universe. We are still going to save the universe. We're just not going to care so much about saving individual people along the way. And we are also going to be an ass about it. This is not how I usually play games. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, so we're ready for that. I'm also going to play as a male shepherd because by principle, I play female when I play Paragon and I play male when I play Renegade. Feel free to do with that what you will. Alright, so that's sort of getting you ready for my playthrough. Also, just a couple things I want to mention about the Legendary Edition in general. First of all, everybody should note that this is a remaster, not a remake. So the story's the same, the characters are the same. I don't think they changed any of the dialogue or anything like that. What they did do is they updated the graphics. They smoothed out the gameplay across all 3 so that they're more uniform. They fixed some of the weird stuff with leveling. There's a lot of things actually gameplay-wise that I've heard, but I have not specifically looked at because I kind of want to be surprised. I know there were things I didn't like the first time I played, but I loved the story so much that it didn't matter. It'll be nice to see what they fixed. In particular, driving. I heard they fixed how horrible driving is in the first game, and I'm really excited to see that because it is the worst part of the first game. And then in the second one, they tried to make it better, and it was a little bit better, and it was much more reduced, so that was fine. But they still realized people didn't like it, so by the time you got to the 3rd game, I think you maybe do like 5 minutes of driving in the 3rd game, and then that was it. Because they wanted to be like, oh, they're still driving, but we know nobody likes it, so we're going to reduce it really far down. So I'm interested to see how they improve that when we play the first part. In terms of spoilers, I am going to do my best to not spoil things for those of you that have not played the game. There are huge plot twists in every single one. And again, characters can die and all these things. And like I said, I've pre-made some of the big decisions. I'm going to try very hard not to spoil anything like that as we're playing through the game. I'm going to try. I can't promise. I have a lot to say about these games because I love them so much. Things may slip out. I'm going to do my best, especially with the big things. Okay. All right, last thing I want to mention. I will be live streaming my playthrough. A link to my Twitch channel is down below in the description. But then I'll be taking those, I'll be doing recordings of those streamings, and then I'm going to trim them down to the best parts, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of you not wanting to watch me walk around the Citadel for an hour. And then I'll post those recordings on this YouTube channel. So either you can join me for the live playthroughs, or you can catch up on the recordings after the fact. And then you can also pick and choose the parts that you want to see, especially if you're someone who knows the Mass Effect story and there's specific things that you'll be looking for. Okay, that's all I got. I'm so excited. We are less than a week from launch. I hope to see you all there. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your friends, and we'll see you May 14th for Mass Effect Legendary Edition.